Hello everyone, Toby from abletondrummer.com here. I have a new device, Max for Live device for live looping in Ableton Live. It's a work in progress device. That means it's not ready, it's not finished. It might not even become a product. I wanted to find out, actually, do people need that? Do people have some feedback? Do people give me some input on that? Are people up for paying for it as well? So I would know that before I actually spend months of time or doing stuff with it before I'm actually releasing it. So you can get this now for free. It's a work in progress. Obviously, you can donate me. I got a Patreon as well. If you want to support stuff I'm doing, please come over and thanks for that. So here's the device, live looping, and you could see I was only hitting this thing 3 times, but a lot of stuff happened already automated in Ableton Live. So let's have a look on the device. And maybe before that, the concept of live looping, which is used here, is like the most used concept really for live looping. So there is some misconception about live looping actually. People think it's all improvised. And Marc Rebier is doing stuff like this. It's awesome. I love it. But to be honest, a lot of the people who are doing live looping are using a set arrangement already. So they know, like, they first gonna play the bass for 2 bars, then they're gonna play some melody for 2 bars. They're gonna do some rhythm for 1 bar, maybe some vocals for 2 bars, another vocal to create some harmonies, etc. So the most people are actually using like a concept, and they're just going to the next step to record stuff. And this is actually what this device is doing. So for this concept, and if you're using Ableton Live with Max for Live, this could be something for you. So let's go through the device. So let's give you some overview first of what I have in here. So I have 4 tracks here. So for example, I got an organ and a piano in the background. I got some hang sound here, hang drum, really nice. I got a shaker, lots of reverb and a resonator, and I have a piano sound where I play some chords, melody stuff. Yeah, later on. Okay. So I want to record stuff in this row like the tracks are here. So I'm starting first with the bass, then the hang drum, then the shaker, and then the piano. Okay, so the device here is helping you to do this all in session view. And it just makes sense because it's like a looper. You have like 1 slot, 2 slot, 3 slots, 4 slots, and you are just recording 1 loop each in here. So that's a concept for now with this device. So yes, so you have the different tracks you can select here. So for example, I want to select the second track. So we have on the first track the looping Max for Live device here, and then this would be the second track. So let's select this one. And I want to record, so I have different actions I could select here. I could play a clip, I could stop a clip, I could clear a clip, so deleting a clip. And I could set, if I scroll down, I can select to which scene. So scenes are those horizontal rows here in Ableton Live, and you could have, obviously you could have more. But for now, and to make things a little bit more easier to understand, we are just using 1, and we're going to record into this first scene here for each track. So scene number 1. Okay, so let's select record, and I can set already how, if I want to have a preset clip length. So this is the first thing which isn't accessible. Well, it is accessible via a push, but just globally to my knowledge. So you need, if you want to define, hey, actually I want to to record for 2 bars here, so we are in 4/4. We need to set it to 8 because that means we are we have 8 beats in here. Yeah, so 4/4, 2 times 4 beats is 8. So if I'm now hitting or triggering this row here, this first clip, first track, or the first track with an instrument will record. So I just hit this here, and you can see it's now recording for 2 bars, 3, 4, and then you have 2 bars which are actually recording. Yeah, so you could have this set up quite easy like this. So maybe add a second track here, which will do the same recording for 2 bars, but with a delay. So the delay is in counts as well. So this one is gonna now count down 7 beats and then is triggering the action, which is recording. And then it will record 2 bars later. So this is a little bit tricky to understand. And you have the global quantization here as well, which means it will start recording on the next one, the first on the next bar. So to show you this in practice. So if I'm triggering this row here, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the first, and then the second. Yeah, and you can hear not played that well, but you know, it's like 2 bars for the first track, and then with a delay, and you could see this is counting down before it starts triggering. This is recording here after the first recording is finished. So let's do this once more, because that's it's such a cool thing. It's really important for you to understand. I have a delete clips button here. So if I want to do this again and delete all the clips of those tracks here, I just press delete clips and just do this again. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can see it's counting down. It's being triggered now, and the next one, on the next one, because to the global quantization settings here, on the next one, the next clip is recording here. Cool, isn't it? So you could actually have like, well, it's now limited to 4 tracks because it's a work in progress version, but just imagine you could have like 4 tracks or 10 tracks recording harmonies like one top of each other without pressing anything. So you might have seen something like this if you do live looping already. Actually, I want to give some credits to Beats, which is an awesome musician, and he released a device which is working very similar. I took this idea and wanted to create something which is a bit more accessible. So yeah, I think if you understand this up till here, yeah, then this is a good way for live looping, actually, because I just hit one thing here, but I can automate a lot of things on the same time. Okay, so let's have a look what's in here as well. So the delay function would work for all those actions. So if you have don't know, a beat which should come in, a clip with a beat which should come in later on, you can set a delay here as well for triggering it. And you might have noticed, and that's something which is really, really cool, that you have an auto arming function here as well. So as you can see, track 1 and track 2 are not armed. So no MIDI is being used here to play sounds. It needs to be turned on to create some sounds. So actually the whole arming thing, turning arming on and off, can be automated here as well. So we have an arm section here, and we can say auto arm at the start of a recording and at the end of a recording. So this would look like this, so just that you understand. So I'm triggering the first row here. Need to start the transport. No, something is wrong. I have delay on. Let's turn this delay off. And let's click on stop all, because this would stop all clips, but as well stop all countdowns for those delay sections here. So if I press this one, you can see the delays are, the counting down delays are being reset. So let's do this once more. So we are now recording, playing, and sound is coming through, and the recording stopped, and the next one is on automatically. Yes, so if you would use a MIDI controller here, you would need to set this up like by a lot of automations and with quite a lot of work. If you understand the concept here, setting up stuff would go really, really quick. Okay, so the recording arming function here can be set to the delay trigger here as well. Yeah, so it would be triggered, the arming would be activated once this delay trigger is being, once the delay is being triggered, this delay countdown here. Okay, so what else do we have? Hey, we have some quantization here. So if you want to, you can turn on quantization. So let's do this with the bass maybe to make this really obvious. So if you're not playing that well, let's delete the clips for all tracks. If you're not playing that well, you can automate warp or quantize stuff here. So this would work with audio as well. Let's do this. 2, 3, 4. And you can see automatically this is being quantized. Yes, you could use recording quantization settings, but they are global as well. So here, if depending on what you're playing, you could have a different quantization for this loop and have different quantization settings for this loop here. So if you are playing some triplets, for example, you don't want to have it sitting on 16th notes. Okay, so just to give you the picture here of what's possible here as well. So many people don't know this, but this quantization thingy would work for audio as well. It's the same like the warping. So let's do this with warping here. So let's select track number 4, which is the shaker. Let's have this one. Let's delete all clips. So we only have the shaker, and let's set the shaker here quantizing to, let's do quarter notes here, just for having this shown really, really obvious. Okay, so I'm triggering this. 2, 4. I missed this one, so let's do this again. 1. Yeah, you could hear I was playing some different notes than those are set now. They are all being set to quarter notes now, so all on the count. Yeah, obviously depends on what you're trying to do here, but sometimes, especially if you're playing a shaker and you're playing it a little bit sloppy, it could make sense to quantize it to 16th notes if you want to. Cool. So what else do we have here? Oh yeah, we have the whole controlling function here. So I used the area touch here because it's such a nice things are turned on here. It's such a nice device to show you. Actually, I'm just pressing one button here. So let's say if we have 3 rows here, I can go through those 3 rows with Let's set those two off just for now. And this, well, here's the bug guys just seeing that. Okay. The countdown here. So stop. There we go. So I can cycle through those different action rows just with one button. So it's actually this button here, which I can click on, but I can route directly a MIDI note into this track to trigger this. So if you press S, it will listen for the next MIDI note pitch coming in and set this automatically. So now I can cycle through those different action rows and just have one button to do the next thing here. Cool. So I probably forgot something. I have one more thing I want to show you, I'm sure, but there must be some other stuff I forgot. No, I think that's it for now. Cool. Okay, so there is one more global function thing here. So for example, when I'm starting the first row here, you can, let's turn off the metronome. So if the transport is playing and I'm starting the first row here, via clicking, you can actually click on here as well, and then the next one will go to the next row in the cycle. When I'm starting this, you can see and you can hear that the metronome is switched on. So I have a whole functions window here as well. I implemented a whole functions window here as well, which can, for example, have the metronome turn on and turn off. So it's quite nice the beginning when you're playing something in to have a metronome to be in time, but obviously you want to get rid of that. So, and you might know at which point already because you know which instrument is coming when. So if we leave the function view here and go back to here, you can see. So if I'm now, let's do 2 rows for now. So if I'm now hitting this pad and row 1, the metronome is turned on. And on number 2, the metronome is turned to off, is turned off. Yeah, so you can select different actions here. So for example, starting the transport or stopping the transport or no action. Yeah, really easy. So for the beginning, you want to start the transport and the metronome probably. Okay, so other functions you got in here is the global launch quantization, which is this part here. So if you want to have stuff being recorded, clips being recorded at a different launch quantization, you can turn this on here. So maybe in the future, if this is becoming a product, you could have like maybe 20 rows down here. It's limited to 6 for now, but you could have 20. And then if you're starting a different song, you might want to use a different launch quantization. You might want to use a different BPM, so you can set this here as well. So time signature, if you want to use a different time signature, you can do this here as well. You can turn on or off the follow tempo feature, session record, and automation arming here as well. Okay, so yes, please get the device. I mean, you're welcome to send me a few donations if you want to, but no obligations here on your side and on my side as well. It's an idea of like what I think people could really use. Obviously, if people want to get in touch and say like, well, I want to learn more stuff about general Ableton Live performance stuff, I do online teaching as well. I do custom Max for Live devices as well. So if you're looking for something like that or something similar, get in touch and we might find some stuff I have released already for you. And yes, if you want to support me, I got a Patreon and you will get access to over 30 Max for Live devices straight away. And I'm releasing a Max for Live device every month, a free Max for Live device every month. And it's just a general supporting of what I'm doing with all the tutorials, etc. Okay, so let's see where this goes. It's really exciting. Work in progress, looper, session looper, number one. So let's see where this is going. I'm looking forward to hear from you what you think and what you like and what you don't like and what you would like to see implemented. And yes, of course, if it's becoming a product, it will be available for money then. So if you're watching this maybe in 1 or 2 years time, this might not be available anymore, but the cool and bugged out, or the bugged out version, like the version without bugs, might be released already. Okay, cool. Nice one. Stay tuned.